Coming up next, right here under the hot seat, of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys. With that being said, I will be talking about things going with TNA, with the Hall of Fame, how do we feel about that, and with the latest inductee with Sting. That's right, Sting being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Who do we think a little bit who will be next to be in the Hall of Fame, or who should be in the Hall of Fame for that matter for TNA? With that being said, you guys know what's coming up next. We want that damn intro.
You are watching the most interactive professional wrestling discussion show on the internet. WWE Impact Wrestling.
ROH Wrestling.
Pro wrestling at its finest on In the Hot Seat with your host, Fort Miners Project.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to this week's episode from the Hot Seat. Of course, as always, I got a great show lined up for you guys, and as well, I'm being joined by my guest at this time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Brandon Hendrickson, also known as Skin Slip.
Alright, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show, and I got a great lineup here for you guys for this week. And starting things off with the first topic that I do have scheduled for the show, and with that being said, being with John Luarnitus, do you think he should continue as general manager for both shows? How do you feel about him overall, and what are your thoughts on that?
Well, when John Luarnitus first started, I really liked this character, how he kind of was a bad guy, but not quite a bad guy.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of evolved into the annoying heel that I hate, so I don't think he should be in power anymore. I think his character needs to get fired and maybe get rehired as a manager or something else. The problem is Luarnitus has a tendency to either skip words in dialogue or he will flunk completely. And it's really painful to watch. And I just shake my head every time it happens.
Yeah. I've talked about many times about John Luarnitus, and I think it's an interesting topic to talk about since there has been a lot going on with him. And now there is the potential of him possibly even being fired or taking this right before No Way Out. And whether or not he's going to be keeping his job, he probably most likely will be. I don't mind him being general manager for both shows, even though it would be nice to have him as just the Raw general manager and maybe have someone like an Eve, someone like that just to run SmackDown, so he doesn't have to be doing everything and be so much on every single show like that. So I have been enjoying John Luarnitus as of late. You know, I think he's doing really good as a heel, and I know what he's doing with all these botches and everything messing up, and I know it can be a little painful to watch at some points, but he does do it, like I stated before in previous videos, that he does it in a funny way. So I just wanted to touch a little bit more bases on that. And going into the next topic that I do have here, and recently TNA has stated that they're going to be having a TNA Hall of Fame. They announced it pretty much on Slammiversary, and with that being said, we do have someone that's going to be announced for the first person to be inducted, and that was Sting. So how do you feel about that whole situation? Do you think this is a good move? Do you think TNA should have waited? How do you feel about the TNA Hall of Fame overall?
Well, to be honest, I like the idea of a TNA Hall of Fame. That is not a problem. I do have a problem with Sting being the first inductee. I think it should have either been AJ Styles or Macho Man to mess with Vince. Yeah. Since Vince refused to put Macho Man in it. Refused while Macho Man was alive to put Macho Man in the Hall of Fame, TNA should have jabbed at them by making him part of the first entry into the Hall of Fame, even though he only showed up a few times on the program. But AJ Styles helped start that program. He should have been in the Hall of Fame. Should have been. Sting, yeah, Sting's a draw, but he's not what makes TNA what TNA is.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a problem with Sting being in the Hall of Fame. I don't really mind that he's technically a veteran for the company, so I have no problems with it. I was hoping he would be a veteran anyway, so once they announced Sting, I was perfectly fine with it. And if they would have added Jeff Jarrett too, which is another guy I'm sure eventually he'll get added into the Hall of Fame.
Jeff Jarrett would have been great. He formed the company. My problem isn't adding Sting. My problem is having Sting being the first inductee.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
They should have been a TNA original.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fine with that, and I don't have a problem with the TNA Hall of Fame. In the beginning, I thought it was kind of weird that they're going to be having this, and even though most of the people that are in TNA sometimes get inducted into the WWE's Hall of Fame anyway, so it didn't really exactly sink into me at that point. It didn't really make too much sense, but as of right now, just thinking about it, it really isn't all that bad, and so far with the first inductee, I am happy with it, and I want to see who else they're going to have inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, so I am going to give this a chance. And with the one of the final topics, and the only final topic that I do have here, and that is with going into the blast in the past, if you will, and going into the past, and what are some top 5 matches, if you will, or pay-per-views or whatever have you, and wrestling events that you would like to go to and that you would have loved to see live that you haven't already been to or would like to be.
Hogan versus Warrior at WrestleMania. That would have been awesome. Steamboat versus Savage. You kind of put me on the spot there.
If you want to go for top 3, that's fine too.
Well, I would love to see a Mick Foley, Mankind versus Undertaker match. Not the Hell in a Cell, because that would have just been really upsetting to watch in person.
That's fine.
Maybe, I'd actually wouldn't mind seeing like Rock Stone Cold.
Yeah,
that would be a great match. Oh, Angle versus Shane McMahon. I believe Judgment Day.
Holy crap, yeah, that would have been awesome.
The street fight they had, that was amazing.
Yeah,
I wish you could have seen that in person.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it's kind of hard to actually think about this, so I might have to go maybe with a top 3 myself. I might actually do a video on this, since this is a fun thing that didn't come out. So, with that, anything with The Rock and Austin, any one of their trilogies were just fucking insane. I would have loved to see them live. Anything with Randy Orton and Mick Foley with their Backlash match in 2004, that was sick. I would have loved to see that live too. Maybe see a match with Edge and Rey Mysterio. I always love their matches, so I would have loved to see the other match that they had. Even though I already seen their match at Royal Rumble, I would have loved to see the other match too as well. Any matches with The Undertaker, especially at WrestleMania, definitely would have been fucking awesome. So that's just it with me as of right now, and there are a lot of matches I would have loved to see live that I couldn't been able to see before. So that about does it for me on my end, and with all the topics, pretty short show for this week, so I appreciate you coming on the show. With that being said, is there anything else? No problem, man. Is there anything else that you want to give your final thoughts on, or even talk about, or even any shout-outs for that matter?
Well, I'm really looking forward to the Ziggler-Sheamus match. I really want it to be Ziggler's time.
I hope so.
It's interesting watching him be a heel on the shows, and they're chanting for him.
Yeah, that's great.
It's blowing my mind. I've liked Ziggler for a while now, because I think he's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah,
he's a really good heel, but I really want him to have the title. I think he's more over than Sheamus is.
Yeah, I can see
He's more talented than Sheamus.
I wouldn't say more talented than Sheamus. I would say they're actually about equal. But I think it's really awesome that people are starting to appreciate Dolph Ziggler more. And I don't really think he's exactly going to win his title just yet. I think this is just a tune-up for him and just a test. And hopefully sometime down the road, I can actually see him winning that Money in the Bank for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he does win it. And then eventually sometime later on in the year or something like that, or wherever have you, he wants to decide to cash in the Money in the Bank and then win the championship and actually keep it this time. I think that would be great, and have it be him being on his own and being on his own with the championship. I think that's going to be great, and Dolph Ziggler is definitely going places, so I'm really happy for the guys. So I see nothing but good stuff coming out of him, and I can't wait to see what's going to be ahead for Dolph Ziggler, so that's going to be great there. So yeah, that about does it for the show. Do you have any shout-outs before we end things off here?
No, I'm good.
Alright, so with that being said, this has been In the Hot Seat. Definitely go check out the Wrestling for Wins as always, and the links will be down there in the description box for my guest's channel, and as well for his Twitter. Also go follow me on Twitter at DaveRivera1889 for the very latest. And until then, feel free to leave a like on this video, and as well keep the good discussion continuing down below in the comment box. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.